Is keep my commands. It's coming from a Bible verse, John 14, verse 15 to 17. Yes, I really liked the narrative that was put up by the people who do the theme. So I will quickly go into that narrative because it was such a beautiful one when I read it. I'm sure the two people who did the theme are here, and I'm sure one of you came up with that narrative. Or the person is here. Alright, so just go through the narrative. It says, it is very true that as believers in Jesus Christ, we think about keeping the commands of God. It is very true that as believers in Jesus Christ, when we think about keeping the commandments of God, we mostly think of the 10 Commandments. Yeah, I actually saw somebody when they saw the thing keeping commands, they were saying, oh, we preached about 10 Commandments last week. So we're not supposed to go back into preaching about the 10 Commandments. But what happens is when we hear the word keeping commands, yes, there are 10 commands, there are 10 commandments. But let's think of those 10 commandments as a moral framework that provides a baseline of how as mankind we should live on earth. So it's just a baseline. Then we have to start thinking of, after Exodus 20, verses 1 to 17, and Deuteronomy 5, verses 6 to 21, which gives us the 10 commandments. Let's also think about when Jesus came. Because when he came, he also brought commands. Amen. Is that true?
Amen.
Yes, he also brought what?
Commands.
Yes, he brought commands. We then have the new covenant that came with Jesus Christ. Because when Jesus came, there was the old covenant. There were the old teachings that were holding people on the pathway to heaven. But when he came as well, he's bringing in this new covenant, this new teaching. When he came on earth as human and as God, as fully man and as fully God, that is in the beginning of the New Testament. This is the doctrine of incarnation and the doctrine of atonement that are central to the new covenant, which is the word when it became flesh, when Jesus became flesh, when he was born on earth. So that's the doctrine of incarnation. And we're talking of the doctrine of atonement, which is about Jesus' sacrificial death when he was nailed on the cross. And yes, he passed through death. We see that in 1 Peter 2, verses 24. So when Jesus became flesh and he lived among us, Jesus then expands on the Mosaic laws, he expands on the 10 commandments that you already know. He then brings, like you were saying, Sermon on the Mount and all the other teachings that came after that. Yes, he expands on the 10 commandments and he fulfills these laws and commands through the teachings he gave in physical when he was fully man. I hope you are understanding this. Don't worry, we are getting there. Amen. Yes. And those teachings that he now gave as fully person, as fully man, those commands he gave when he was fully human and fully God, are the commands we are instructed to keep as the theme we have today, which says, keep my commands. The commands that he gave when he was born on earth, when he was now beginning his ministry, when he was now amongst people. Those are the commands we want to talk about.